Hello everyone. Cruise ships are large passenger ships used mainly for vacationing. Unlike ocean liners, which are used for transport, cruise ships typically embark on round-trip voyages to various ports of call, where passengers may go on tours known as shore excursions. On cruises to nowhere or nowhere voyages, cruise ships make 2 to 3 night round trips without visiting any ports of call. Modern cruise ships tend to have less hull strength, speed, and agility compared to ocean liners. However, they have added amenities to cater to water tourists, with recent vessels being described as balcony-laden floating condominiums. As of December 2018, there were 314 cruise ships operating worldwide, with a combined capacity of 537,000 passengers. Cruising has become a major part of the tourism industry, with an estimated market of $29.4 billion per year and over 19 million passengers carried worldwide annually as of 2011. The industry's rapid growth saw 9 or more newly built ships catering to a North American clientele added every year since 2001, as well as others servicing European clientele until the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 saw the entire industry all but shut down. As of 2022, the world's largest passenger ship is Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas. Cruise lines operators of cruise ships are known as cruise lines, which are companies that sell cruises to the public. Cruise lines have a dual character. They are partly in the transportation business, and partly in the leisure entertainment business, a duality that carries down into the ships themselves, which have both a crew headed by the ship's captain and a hospitality staff headed by the equivalent of a hotel manager. Among cruise lines, some are direct descendants of traditional passenger shipping lines, such as Cunard, while others were founded in the 1960s specifically for cruising. Historically, the cruise ship business has been volatile. The ships are large capital investments with high operating costs. A persistent decrease in bookings can put a company in financial jeopardy. Cruise lines have sold, renovated, or renamed their ships to keep up with travel trends. Cruise lines operate their ships almost constantly. If the maintenance is unscheduled, it can result, potentially, in thousands of dissatisfied customers. A wave of failures and consolidations in the 1990s led to many cruise lines being bought by much larger holding companies and continuing to operate as brands or subsidiaries of the holding company. Brands continue to be maintained partly because of the expectation of repeat customer loyalty, and also to offer different levels of quality and service. For instance, Carnival Corporation and plc owns both Carnival Cruise Line, whose former image was vessels that had a reputation as party ships for younger travelers, but have become large, modern, yet still profitable, as well as Holland America Line and Cunard Line, whose ships cultivate an image of classic elegance. In 2004, Carnival had merged Cunard's headquarters with that of Princess Cruises in Santa Clarita, California so that administrative, financial and technology services could be combined, ending Cunard's history where it had operated as a standalone company, subsidiary, regardless of parent ownership. However, Cunard did regain some independence in 2009 when its headquarters were moved to Carnival House in Southampton. The common practice in the cruise industry in listing cruise ship transfers and orders is to list the smaller operating company, not the larger holding corporation, as the recipient cruise line of the sale, transfer, or new order. In other words, Carnival Cruise Line and Holland America Line, for example, are the cruise lines from this common industry practice point of view. Whereas Carnival Corporation and plc and Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, for example, can be considered holding corporations of cruise lines. This industry practice of using the smaller operating company, not the larger holding corporation, is also followed in the list of cruise lines and in member-based reviews of cruise lines. Some cruise lines have specialties. For example, Saga Cruises only allows passengers over 50 years old aboard their ships. And Star Clippers and formerly Windjammer Barefoot Cruises and Windstar Cruises only operate tall ships. Regent Seven Seas Cruises operates medium-sized vessels smaller than the mega ships of Carnival and Royal Caribbean, designed such that virtually all of their suites are balconies. Several specialty lines offer expedition cruising or only operate small ships, visiting certain destinations such as the Arctic and Antarctica, or the Galapagos Islands. John W. Brown, which formerly operated as part of the United States Merchant Marine during World War II before being converted to a museum ship, still gets underway several times a year for 6-hour living history cruises that take the ship through Baltimore Harbor, down the Patapsco River, and into the Chesapeake Bay, and she is also the largest cruise ship operating under the American flag on the United States East Coast. Currently, the 3 largest cruise line holding companies and operators in the world are Carnival Corporation and plc, Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, and Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. As an industry, the total number of cabins on all of the world's cruise ships amounts to less than 2% of the world's hotel rooms. Cruise ships are organized much like floating hotels, with a complete hospitality staff in addition to the usual ship's crew. It is not uncommon for the most luxurious ships to have more crew and staff than passengers. Dining on almost all cruise ships is included in the cruise price. Traditionally, the ship's restaurants organize 2 dinner services per day, early dining and late dining. And passengers are allocated a set dining time for the entire cruise. A recent trend is to allow diners to dine whenever they want. Other onboard facilities, modern cruise ships typically have aboard some or all of the following facilities: buffet restaurant, card room, casino, only open when the ship is at sea to avoid conflict with local laws, childcare facilities, cinema, clubs, fitness center, hot tub, indoor and/or outdoor swimming pool with water slides, infirmary and morgue, karaoke, library, lounges, observation lounge, ping pong tables, pool tables. Shops are only open when the ship is at sea to avoid merchandising, licensing, and local taxes. Spa, teen lounges, theater with Broadway-style shows. Some ships have bowling alleys, ice skating rinks, rock climbing walls, skydiving simulators, miniature golf courses, video arcades, zip lines, surfing simulators, water slides, basketball courts, tennis courts, chain restaurants, ropes obstacle courses, and even roller coasters. Thank you all very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot to me.